society. Get ready for a wild ride.
All right, folks, welcome back for another fun adventure with the Edge of Tomorrow crew. This Thursday, we've got ASO and Zoggipogga running through a quick side session, and it looks like ASO is coming to aid Zogi in cleaning up the mess the group made this past Saturday.
All right. So thanks and welcome back, folks. We have, when we last left our heroes, they had just fled from the Chateau of Time, which transformed into a siege worm. As the illusion faded, they realized they were in the belly of the beast, so to speak. While the rest of the group was able to escape, Zogi turned around and headed deeper into the siege worm in order to fight this giant weapon of war from the inside out. So that's where we left last session. Anything you guys want to add before we kick this off?
I'm ready to roll. Aso's cracking his knuckles.
Yeah, I'm just envisioning Drax coming out of that worm at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy there.
Oh, no copyright infringement there.
Intended.
All right. So ASO, as you come to the area, and of course, this siege worm is like, the size of a small building, 3 or 4 stories tall. This thing is massively moving around. Everybody in Fartown knows something is up. And as you arrive, you see the rest of the party is actually on the ground in various states of unconsciousness from the aura of this beast. You have no vision of where Zogi is at all.
Alrighty. As the crowded streets starting to panic, I see a little kid that trips and scrapes his knee. I pick him up and say, "Go on, keep running," and push him along with the crowd and head over towards my compatriots and give them a nod of, "You guys look exhausted, and you guys get back. I think I can handle this. Is this everybody?"
All right. And as you're saying, is this everybody? You notice that Zogi is nowhere to be found. And as you turn and look at this massive siege worm that's beginning to thrash about, you can see a cut on the side of its neck that is growing back together. And you recognize the distinct glow of Zogi's wings.
Oh boy, Zogi, I hope you know what you're doing. And in an effort to help my friends out of there and help protect the surrounding area, I am going to begin a weave using... sorry, I had it laid out before, but I don't have it quite ready. There we go. Size from infinity, distance from the sea, and land from diamond. And I'm going to attempt to alter an area around, 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet. So whichever range band that falls under, I can take the level for that. And I'm going to cast and reach down and have the ground and the buildings and the people around this siege worm spread out rapidly away from it, leaving a vast openness around it. I'm not sure what size band that would need to be.
All right. And you said how, like 1,000 is what you're looking for? 1,000 feet?
Yeah, like 1,000 by 1,000, kind of pushing everything back away from this thing so that it really couldn't get to much, ideally.
All right, let me just take a look at the spell effects table and see what that falls under.
I have large area, very large area, and an area stretching for miles. Or the 3 back-to-back that I was thinking it might fall under.
What is the very large area?
The
That's 8, right?
very large is 9.
All right, let's do the 9.
Alrighty. And I will roll for that. Is that a 2 or a 3 die weave?
Oh, I believe that's a 2.
Alrighty.
I might be wrong about that, and I'm sure chat will call me out if I am, but I believe a 9 is a 2.
And
Gotta
as I
get
complete
right.
my weave, I will stab the end of my umbrella into the ground and open it, like fanning motion to start the change. And first flux of the night, of course.
Yeah, let's start off on a good place.
But at least it's only a minor flux.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a joy on you.
Ooh.
So the card flip is the defender. It's a defender card, but it's the driver. And the joy for that card is an impetuous decision on the PC's part results in an astonishing success.
Yo. Let's go.
Oh.
Then we just need the flux.
So, as you do that, the land is going to grow beneath your feet and around you in all directions super fast as you conjure and create space for this thing to thrash and writhe around in. At the same time, the downed party members are going to be pushed away from the siege worm as well. So you've effectively moved them to safety at the same
Perfect.
time.
That was the intent.
All right, Zoggy, meanwhile, you are in the belly of the beast, so to speak, and you are, I'd say, roughly in what one would consider the esophagus. The exit that the rest of the group had taken, if anything, would be considered like a gill in a fish. So you are about in the throat region right now. What would you like to do?
I'm going to start off using one of my forte abilities.
Right?
1 second. Let me scroll down to it. Going to use the ability to. I'm going to use the abilities called Secret Vulnerabilities. It's a level 6+ die. I indicate a nearby creature or object, and the whispers tells me its weaknesses, its secrets, and its past. Not only do I learn the name, if any, level, general characteristics of the creature or object, but if I interact with it in any way, hostile or peaceful, my action is enhanced by 1 die.
Look at Deal. Go ahead and roll those dice.
And I'm going to push that using some of my sorcery to. I'm going to push it by 4 to put it at level 10.
All right, roll it.
So that's going to be a 17 and a 11.
And for the defender, you get +2 if the heart matches the family. So,
I do not match the family.
all right. Okay, so that does pass against the siege worm. You find that it is a level 10. It gets +4 to its defenses and has 4 armor. It can sustain 6 injuries per wound, and it has 5 wounds and 4 anguish. Anything it touches will begin to deteriorate immediately, and it will inflict one scourge in all pools if it touches you.
Okay.
Um, it has no weaknesses. It has no soul, so there's no
Right.
um, secret name or anything like that. It is a sentient demonic weapon of war.
Sounds great.
All right. Meanwhile, outside, this thing is pissed off and it is thrashing about. Now all the buildings are kind of out of the way and the people are out of the way, leaving Aso in a big open area as this creature is thrashing around and getting its mini like centipede type legs under it. Um, so it's not really attacking you yet, Aso, but it's moving. It's getting up and getting out of the ground, leaving a huge trench where it was buried in the ground to form the chateau.
Alrighty. And I am going to.
Give me one moment for the card flip.
Yep.
And there's the card for the next round.
That looks fun.
Plus green, minus impale.
All right, you were saying?
Alrighty. I am going to pop 4 more sorcery here to use telepathy at close range. And I'm going to try to communicate with Zogi. Oh, I did not plan out the placement of these cards very well. 1 second. Everything's blocking my stuff. There we go. And I'm going to use the softness from Moonlight to aid me in this, as well as secrets from the sea to try to communicate telepathically with Zogi and say, Zogi, I'm sure there's a reason that you're in there. If you'd like to enlighten me to your plan, that would be appreciated. Everybody else here is safe.
Zogi kind of freaking out because he's listening to the whispers, essentially, thinking Aso's dead. Well, Aso, actually, I don't have a plan. um, I'm happy that everybody's out safely.
All right, well, you work the inside, I'll work the outside.
I'm also gonna give Aso the general rundown of how the creature works and that there's no secret vulnerabilities or anything. It's just it's a big fat worm.
Big old sack of hit points. Got it.
All right, and what are you going to do for your turn, Zogi?
Um, I'm going to call to my patron.
Okay.
I'm gonna call out to Queen Fragilina and the greatest time of Zogi's need and ask for aid and assistance in bringing down this weapon of destruction.
All right, why don't you go ahead and make a interaction check?
Okay. Am I gonna gain any bonus for her being my patron? Pledging myself to her causes and her needs, type of deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a +2.
Okay. And I have a rank of persuasion, and the card is also on my heart, so that's gonna be a total of +4. 7.
Not the worst.
All right, let's see here. All right. So she can give errands and tasks. So Queen Fragiliva is an imperious ruler of angels within the realm of Silver Suns. She insists on order, harmony, structures, and peace, and she'll use almost any means, including the opposite of those things, to get them. She is not the typic, loving, and altruistic cliche of angels, but neither is she petty, vengeful, deceitful, or self-aggrandizing. All right. So, and you rolled a 7 altogether?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you feel a warm shiver of divine light, and um, you know that she's responding, but you don't know the nature of how that's going to manifest. You just know that she is responding.
Okay.
That's positive. Till this devil card flips.
It's actually a devil.
Why do you guys always assume the cards are going to be against you?
Because they are, except for like 3 times. But those 3 times make up for it.
Nah, we're pulling golden ship tonight. I feel it.
Let's see it.
That's my patron call.
All right. So Aso, the beastie turns, um, and with you being the only target, it rushes at you with its snapping maw, which is enough to swallow you in one bite.
Yep. Aso is going to pop his umbrella and withdraw his, I believe it's called the feathered rapier.
Okay.
And kind of parry and step to the side, as you would repost. Hopefully, he's going to push a movement bean. And I have a very strong feeling he's about to get messed up. Actually, instead of a movement bean, I like to use a sortilege bean to help me. In a way of using the magical object power as well as my umbrella, which I've magically imbued multiple times to kind of aid me in getting out of the way of this thing.
Okay.
6 and a 3.
And do you have any bonuses from the card family?
No, I do not.
All right. So despite your best magical efforts, the siege worm is just too massive and fast. And it is going to nick your shoulder with a giant tooth. And that nick of the shoulder is going to be like the equivalent of being hit by a giant sword through your arm. And that's going to do 10 injuries.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And not in a good way. I'm going to push physicality for that.
All
and
right.
take 7.
And it is back to you, and I'm going to drop a new card. The
Ooh,
Harvesting Spider.
alrighty. That fucking hurt. I am going to. God damn it, Zoki. I'm going to use my immediate for my sorcery pool because I don't think this sword is going to do too much. I'm going to move a range band back, and that's the Watcher that was flipped.
It's the Harvesting Spider.
Alrighty. I'm going to use my Loom of the Soul, which has me selected for the tower that I can use to weave. And I would want to use, in conjunction with that, Strength from Diamond, as well as Silver from Moonlight. And I would like to cast an imprisoning spell around the siege worm. I guess before I move back, I'm going to do this because it is a touch. So I'm going to reach out and I'm going to try to create a cage, a magical cage to hold it in place, made out of diamond and silver. My thought here is, obviously it looks like an evil beast, so hopefully silver has some kind of bonus effects on it. And that will be at. What's the size of this creature? In essence of a large, medium, very large area.
Very large.
It's the
Alrighty.
size of a 3-story building, as Eric just said earlier.
Alrighty. And then, so I'm going to use level 8 to create a temporary item or structure no larger than a very large area. With the short duration from the tower, which I think is longer than round. So it's like a check each round depletion sort of deal.
Yep.
And see what happens. That's going to be level 8.
Okay, don't forget to do the object depletion check on your Loom of the Soul.
Yes, I will do that. Okay, thank the Lord.
The Lord has no dominion here.
So it's going to be double 12s. What's the family, though, on that card? Is that Notions or Mysteries? Oh, I didn't mean to steal it. Sorry, Watcher.
I believe that's Mysteries.
It is. So I do have a bonus for that, whatever that bonus may be.
It's
It's 1 or 2. So double 13s.
Double 13s.
Come on.
All right. So you create I'm going to say a level 13 structure around the siege worm. And we'll see if it holds up.
Yeah, we will. And I'm going to back off 1 range band as far as I can.
Sounds like a deal. Zogi, what are you doing in there?
Deeper. I'm flying deeper in.
All right. As you fly deeper in, you move 1 range band, you feel a thudding pulse. And as you enter this cavern, you see this giant black and green orifice, if you will, that is pumping. And to the best of your ability, you can make out, it appears to be a heart.
Hype. I'm
Oop.
going to. I'll try this. I'm gonna use my Nature's Crown. And I'm gonna create a level 3 stag, and I'm gonna command it to start charging at the heart.
All right. Go ahead and check the object depletion. You should be good there.
Yep.
So you've summoned a level 3 stag inside of this creature, and it's going to charge. Um, and as far as you can tell, it's doing no significant damage to the exterior tissue of this organ.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop another card flip. Well, it's going to have its turn first. And it is immediately not happy at being caged in. And it is going to charge the cage wall. And it smashes into the wall. But for the moment, it holds. And Aso, I'm going to have you do a depletion check on the cage.
Alrighty. Do I have a target here by chance?
I'm going to have it deplete on a 0.
Alright, and just one?
Yep, just one.
Alrighty. Oh, oh, my heart.
That was really close.
Oh, that was my big whammy too. Phew. I'll take it.
All right, so the next card flip is the Crowded Tomb. All right, Aso, you're up.
Oh, alrighty. I am going to, at 5th level for telepathy at long range, I am going to reach out to my mentor,
Okay.
Ilroy. Ilroy is the leader of the Writhed Web Cell of Weavers. And I'm going to send him a telepathy using the same aggregates as before as I did with Zogi to inform him that a sage worm has awoken in Fartown, and the cell needs to move into position to defend Fartown, and give him our location. Yeah.
All call bulletin. Hey,
Yes.
did we ever get that flux for your last spell, or did I skip right by it?
I think we might have skipped by it. I can roll one though.
No, we did get it. It was all of his clothes lose color, so we got a naked Aso streaking through the streets.
Yay.
They lose color. White is the absence of all color.
Translucent?
No, that's clear. See, that one has a color too.
I don't think clear is a color.
Okay.
All right.
I have the umbrella.
You have sent your call for help out. Zogi, what are you doing?
Seeing that my stag had no apparent effect, I'm going to use my sword, I suppose. So that's gonna be a level 5 plus 1 die from that, and then I'm gonna gain a second die from my secret, my forte ability. So it's gonna be 3 dice
Go for it.
plus 5 plus another one from the card. Gonna be a total of plus 6.
All right, 3 dice plus 6.
Maybe.
So that's going to be a 14 is your highest score, and that's what you need to hit this thing. So you successfully, how much damage do you do with that weapon?
4.
All right. And for Queen Fragilina's aid, I'm going to add 2 to your damage as
Okay.
you feel the heavy vigor, if you will. So we'll say that's 6 injuries.
Okay.
And as you do so, the heart rips apart, spilling a blackish blood all over the ground, and some splatters up on you. And it stops beating, but you can still hear the rhythmic beat of a heart within the creature.
We must go deeper, Padawan.
Just wait till you see what I have next.
All right. It
Hey.
once again is going to smash against the cage on the exterior to no avail. And I just dropped another card for the new round.
Do you want a depletion on that for that attempt?
Please.
Oh, I'll put a depletion for my stag.
These dice, man, they're playing with my hearts too much.
That was a roll for my stag, and if that depletion is 0, I pass for this round.
So what are the families for you guys, or the hearts? I'm sorry, the hearts for you guys.
I'm Stoic Mysteries.
I'm visions,
Okay.
so I'm gonna gain a
Oh.
bonus. Nope, that's secrets.
So mysteries and visions.
All right. So the card flip is the revolutionary, and the secondary effect on revolutionary is something is destroyed. And with that, the siege worm is going to smash. All of its repeated attempts have caused cracks to appear in the cage, and the cage is going to begin to shatter and crack. Aso, you're up.
Crack, not destroyed, right?
Crack, not destroyed. Yep.
Okay. Just real quick, I was asking before, but I want to make sure I had this right. As far as my rest goes, is it 2 action rests and 1 immediate, or 2 immediate and 1 action?
It's 2 action rests.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then you have the 10-minute rest, and then you have the hour rest.
Alrighty. I'm gonna have to take an action rest and move back another range band so that, you know, far enough that it's not gonna be able to move in 1 round to get me. I need to stay back and use that action rest.
So now you'll be at medium range.
Yes.
All right. And Zoggy, what are you doing?
We're going deeper.
All right. As you proceed down the cavity that you're in, you can hear the heartbeat, another one faintly away, but a white globus mass seems to be blocking your path, and it moves and wiggles like it's alive. And as soon as you approach, it begins moving in your direction aggressively.
But it's on the floor, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
like a
is it?
giant slime.
Oh, okay. How tall? Like, how big is it? Like, can it reach me because I'm flying?
100% it can distort and elongate to reach you. Because you're flying, but it's not like you have,
Right.
a huge distance.
Right. Guess I'm gonna have to beat it up. I'm gonna attack at that.
Go for it.
Be 2d10 plus 5. So we have 10 and 13.
All right. And how much damage do you do?
That's 4 plus the 2 from my patron, so it's gonna be 6.
All right. You light into this thing with your angelic sword and slice it clean in two. Um, and it kind of separates and falls into two puddles to either side of you.
Yep.
And it is now the beastie's turn. And it is going to charge the cage one more time. And this time it blasts through the cage, shattering it to pieces as the spell is destroyed, and it comes crashing down. Aso, it's going to be your turn. I'm just going to flip another Sooth card here.
Ooh. What is that one?
All right. That is the Alchemist. And that is an Adept, which requires me to play another card.
But only if it's a good card, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not a good card. Not a good card.
Only if it's a good card for me.
For the GM, yeah. There it is. Devil called it.
No, it's Jackal. It's worse.
The Jackal.
Oh.
That is a Nemesis card.
But it's mysteries.
I'll take it.
Woohoo!
Did the siege worm move on his turn, or did it just use its full turn to break the cage?
Used its full term to break the cage.
So I'm still 2 rage bands out. Perfect.
All right. So, what an interesting pair of cards. So, Aso, as you prepare to deal with this thing, you hear the sudden war cry. And looking
Let's
behind,
go.
you see a gathering of geotics and weavers from Death's Door assembled and with a line of summoning circles as all of these geotechs are calling for aid, and there's a whole host of weavers bending magic and casting spells, and you see just a tirade of different types of spells come flooding in at the siege worm. Everything from lightning bolts and spears of ice to balls of fire,
Oh no.
clouds, just everything you can imagine come flying at this siege worm. And for a second, you feel relief.
Real quick, I'm going to show a little bit of relief because I just was barely out of magic to reach Risa as well when I reached out to Ilroy, so I am very glad that her people showed up as well.
However, when you turn back to look at the siege worm, on the far side of the siege worm, you see another group assembling out of red flames and dark shadows. You see a horde of demons emerging. And the battlefield has been set.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna save. I'm holding on to this spell. So I am going to try to rally the Weavers. And also the Goetics that came from that side, obviously the side I want to be on here. And I'm going to turn to them and say, the demons brought this wretched beast into our land, and we will not stand for this. They think they can come and trample upon us and ride us through these streets. We'll show them who's boss. Onward! And I'll point my umbrella, and it pops open as I push it out.
Zogi
And then
cries a tear.
That's what and I'm gonna try to give them some kind of buff as motivation. So interaction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, go ahead and make an interaction check.
Alrighty, and I'm going to push an interaction for this. $10 total. Plus the mysteries, right? So, or is that a minus because it's on the jackal?
It's a minus because it's on the jackal.
Okay.
If you match, it's -2.
All right, and so that's gonna be a 8.
All right. So as a total for an 8, you call out to the Weavers and the Geotics, and the Geotics are kind of lost in their summoning as creatures from all of the suns begin appearing and charging forth across the open field, and they are met in fierce combat by an array of demons as this siege worm begins running around rampantly, crashing and thrashing through this crowd. And as you call to the Weavers, they respond to your calls, and you begin a massive weave. Unlike anything you've ever attempted before, the Weavers all bend to your will and begin casting a collective spell. And I am going to allow you to declare what that spell would be.
Oh shit. Can we go to Zogi's turn while I think on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Is the slime thing, is it still kind of like pulsating and moving around a little bit?
Right now, it just looks like 2 puddles.
Okay. Deeper I go, I suppose.
All right, heading deeper into the cavern, you come to another structure that looks similar to the heart that you saw before, except that this heart is a bluish color, and it's blue with like dark green veins coming out of it.
Okay. Saying that, blue with green veins, huh? Interesting. I'm gonna. Can I take like a precision strike?
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to. The dark green veins are kind of concerning the Zogi. Looks like you radiate some type of power and, or maybe some blood source line or a bloodline, and I'm not about to get that all over me. So I want to kind of like finagle the way I strike, so I can cut the heart and do enough damage to maybe destroy it, or take a second turn to destroy it, but not get this source of blood or whatever it may be all over Zogi.
All right, I'm going to say go ahead and make an attack and use accuracy.
Okay.
And for this, I'm going to have you push the accuracy, Bene, because you're
Absolutely.
targeting specifically.
Okay. So it's going to be a +4, -1 from the jackal. All right. So we have a 13 and a 7.
All right, so you slice in with your sword. Instead of opening up the aorta or one of the ventricle sacs, you begin slicing at more of the connective tissue to disrupt, and the heart instantly responds with like an arrhythmia, taking up an odd beat, and the whole creature kind of shudders and in a violent quiver, if you will. So you know that you heard it.
Okay. Sweet deal.
All right, I think I'm ready.
All right. What
Um,
spell are you guys going to unleash?
I'm actually going to use one that I have practiced, or not practiced rather, but one that I have worked up, and that's going to be the Shattered Plane. That's going to be a level 10 effect of an ongoing portal to any location in this or any other universe. And I'm going to have this kind of Doctor Strange portal in front of the swarm of demons and creatures from the red and all that on the other side of the battlefield. I'm going to have it facing that, and I'm going to open the portal to the silver at the bazaar there that I visited, where all the angels were.
Okay. At the city on the hill?
I believe that's where I was. It was where Natalia was doing her maker stuff, and Vanessa was trying to steal. And
Absolutely. That's the city on the hill, the city
yep,
of angels.
yes. And I'm going to have a huge portal open there, so that when they're looking through the portal, they're seeing all these demons and the beings from the red coming from Fartown, and cry out to them, um, or the Weavers as a whole. They're going to be sending a message with it, saying to come and help and protect Satyrine. The war has begun.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop another card, and that is the Savage Sword.
Uh-oh.
And the Savage Sword indicates the beginning of a battle. Um, and you hear the triumphant horns of angelic host, so to speak, um, as the portal opens. You just hear the vibrant blare, and I am going to go ahead and have the siege worm is going to crash in, killing elementals and summoned and demons alike, just plowing through this battlefield. And Zogi, what are you going to do on this round?
Did the heart stop beating, or does it need another strike?
It's going to need another strike.
Okay. I'm going to do the same thing I did last turn, doing a precision strike once again, not to get all this goop in me, but going deeper into the cuts already made. So that's gonna be no longer a -1, so that's gonna be +5, and now a 6 for a Savage Sword, and then I'll be pushing another accuracy beam.
Okay, go for it.
Oof.
So we have a 10 and an 8.
All right. That is going to pass. And as you continue cutting at the connective tissue for this heart, it sags to the ground. Um, and as you get the supporting veins that are allowing the heart to draw blood without getting the green ones that this heart is pumping, it shudders and flutters and then stalls altogether. And again, for a moment, you hear silence, and then the ominous thud of another heart from further in the chamber draws your attention.
Okay. I know I just took an action, but could I maybe take an intellect check to see like on how many hearts there would be, or if I would know that off research of being a goetic and knowing summons?
Yeah, go ahead, take a check.
Okay.
Do an check.
Am I gonna gain any bonuses here?
No, I don't think so.
One from the
6,
card.
7.
All right. So you know that this type of demon from legend has at least 5 hearts.
All right, sounds good.
All right. And Aso, what do you got going on this round?
Well, that's a great question. I'm kind of at a loss. I'm really low on health, so I'm gonna make my way through the weavers to see if anybody is using the blood aggregate.
All right, go ahead and make an interaction check.
I will push one for this. So, fuck. 2.
All right, amid the din of battle and the chaos of the field, you are unable to find a weaver that is obviously using the blood or a family or health aggregate. However, you do come across the leader of Death's Door, Risa Ragu.
All right, I'm gonna stumbling, kind of holding my my arm from where it got really messed up earlier. You know, blood kind of dripping down through my suit coattails and off. The red staining my nice blue umbrella. Risa, it's an honor to fight by your side, but I'm wounded. Is there anything you can do for me? I need to get back in there.
Master Yuri, how did I know you and your friends would be involved in this? It's good to at least have you on our side for a change. And she casts a spell on you, and you feel the light of the green kind of flood into you. And you recover 2 wounds. And she smiles and says, "That's the best I've got, but be careful. It's only temporary."
Oh man. Thank you. I'm not involved in this. I'm here to protect Fartown, as I'm sure you are all as well here. But we need to deal with these beasts across the way. Shall we mount a charge?
Indeed we shall, Master Yuri. If you would be so kind, I will direct the geotics if you could direct the weavers.
He stands up, being able to reposture now with the wound somewhat closed up, and says, "It would be an honor." And I'll turn back to the group of weavers and prepare for the next round.
All right. And as the battle rages on and the chaos is happening on the outside, the blare of trumpets heralds the forthcoming of a host of angels that come pouring out of the portal. And at the behest of the angels, kind of at the rear, but still leading, if you will, you recognize the secretan of the ostiary. This is the angel that has stood at the gate for aeons and has routed entire armies that have fought their way, that have sought to fight their way inside. Uh, it has bested terrible foes in its shining silver armor of angelic creation with its massive shield and axe. It stands at an imposing 9 feet tall, but outside of that, because it's shod in from head to toe in armor, you can't make out anything more about this creature. Um, it is the guardian of the city on the hill, and it is marshaling its troops to attack the demon horde. So you have received backup, if you will. The
Praise somebody.
the siege worm is going to veer and charge your battle line of geotics and weavers. And Reese is calling a call for everybody to brace for impact as it comes crashing through the line. And
Yeah.
what I'd like to do is have you take a interaction check to get the folks to hold the line.
Alrighty. I will push an interaction again here, and that's neither plus or minus on that card, right? For me.
I
No.
believe so.
Right.
All right, that's going to be a 5. And I'm going to drop to one knee, extend the umbrella per usual in my defensive stance, and grab the nearest weaver by shoulder, kind of bracing.
Could I propose something?
Yeah, go ahead.
As this is all going on, Zogi's inside, kind of slashing at the hearts, and the last time I hit this heart, it had shuttered the worm, and it obviously took a lot of it didn't receive that so well. So now that I've completely cut off the heart, and it kind of like shatters down to the bottom of where we're standing in, I want to propose that maybe it's gonna shutter and maybe make the ability to dodge a little bit better, or something along that lines, if that's okay with you.
All right. I will add a bonus to ASO's check to get the folks to hold the line. So the siege worm comes crashing into this line of Vislae, thrashing and milling about, and geotics are strewn about as if they were toy army soldiers being cast aside by a child. They're just flung in all directions as this creature rages through the crowd, disrupting summoning circles and snapping down on people. And Aso yells to hold the line, and miraculously, the majority of Vislae do hold the line and stay firm, slinging spells at this massive monstrosity. And I am going to go ahead and drop the next Sooth card.
Let's go.
Lucky coin.
On the Invisible Sun?
Let's go, baby.
It's the
Plus
It's
silver, minus
notions.
some gold.
oh, that's a bummer, but hey, I'll take it.
I'll take it too.
All right. Zogi, what are you going to do? I'm going to start with you.
I'm gonna head deeper, following the path of heartbeats.
All right. So you head into another chamber, and in this chamber, there is a large organ that appears to be almost like a liver, if you will. It appears to be filtering blood, coming in and out. And unlike the hearts, it's not pulsating. There's just all of these veins clockworked moving through this thing. Um, and it's like a greasy, slimy, dripping toxins. And the entire floor is covered in like a greenish yellow ooze type pus that's coming out of this liver.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I'm kind of thinking about something. So this is kind of like the processing plant. It's kind of processing all this blood, and I don't really
It-
want to start chopping it up. I'm gonna drown in the blood. Am I right? Um,
Oh, real quick, while you think on that, on the outside here, this thing's getting battered with spells. Do any of them actually appear to be inflicting wounds on the worm? Does it seem to be wearing him down at all?
Only in minor ways. It doesn't seem to be able to penetrate its thick armor, hide, and defenses.
So it's just kind of tearing at the armor, more or
Yep.
less.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So Zogi, are you gonna slice at this thing or at the liver, or are you gonna bypass it? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do like a little drive by. I'm gonna kind of like continue flying by and trying to nick at what I can.
All right. Go ahead and make a roll to attack it.
Okay. Are we following the same rule of the enhancements in silver is gonna enhance the roll on my sword?
Yes.
That's me a +6. Big hit up right here. 15 and 13.
All right. So you tear into the sword as you fly by and rip a hole across the liver, and blood and pus comes seething out of it. But you manage to stay just ahead to not get drowned in the sudden torrent of fluids that come ejecting out of this organ. Um, and you make your way further into the cavern of this belly of the beast. And Aso, what do you got up your sleeve?
I'm going to try to rally the weavers to divert the worm to the so that it's because from my little bit of knowledge about siege worms is they don't necessarily have a master. They're more components of chaos. And with that, they kind of lean on a neutral lie. So I'm going to try to convince the weavers to band together to divert it and direct it across the battlefield. Whether it be like earthbending kind of stuff, like popping the rocks up to like you would with a shark, you put a barrier so it kind of turns and moves, popping up different parts of the rocks and herding it towards the enemy side of the field.
All
So,
right.
interaction check there. I'm going to save my last interaction beat and I'm just going to go for it. Fuck.
All right. You do your best to get the weavers to rally together, but the rampant destruction of the siege worm thrashing through their ranks, you're unable to get enough of them together and work in unison, and the spell just fails. Um, let's go ahead and have the chat roll a major flux. Anybody in the audience wants to roll that, that'd be great.
We got a couple of viewers up there.
All right, so you have two to choose from because both Oxivius and Lady Merlin put one out.
Ooh, both really good.
Either two of my fingers wither and fall off, or one of my eyes turns permanently white.
Oh,
Why not both?
I mean, I'm happy with both. That'd be kind of cool. I get an eye patch.
Well, it turns white. Doesn't mean you can't see out of it.
True.
all right. So here's how that's going to work. Aso, one of your eyes is going to turn permanently white. Not that it's not usable. It's just that the iris is white. And then the entire horde of weavers that tried to assist you as they're weaving, their fingers are going to fall off. 2 fingers on each of them, which is going to cause a little bit of a panic in the crowd as the weavers begin to deteriorate from the siege worms' deteriorating touch as their limbs begin to wither and die.
All right. I'll make another check to get him back in line next time around here.
And
Ooh.
Zoggy, as you move through the cavern, right as you cross this series of organs and whatnot, this muscly type tissue snaps shut on you like a sphincter, if you will, or a trachea closing, trapping you in this muscly cord. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a despair for that, for the imprisoning ice card flip.
Okay.
And it's you guys' turn right at the top of the order.
I will, like I said, make that next roll here to try and rally the weavers back, grabbing them by the shoulders as they're going, making note that people like Star Everlight has showed up and some of the other weaver friends that I have, and turning them and worry not. This is just a trick of the Demonkind. Keep your focus and stay ready. And I'm going to push my last interaction being here. And swinging a hit, maybe. 7.
A 7. All right. So as your words echo amongst the troop, your members of your Weaver cell rally to your cause, echoing your words, and you find a host of Weavers gathering around you, ready to take another shot at stopping the worm. Go ahead and cast a weave, a collective weave as a group.
Alrighty.
So these collective weaves don't cost any of your sorcery because it's the group casting on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an enhanced version of what I have deemed the up-down turnaround, which would normally pick the target up, spin them around, slam them back down, and it's a gravity change. And so we're going to use that, and I'm going to buff it up from what would normally be a level 6, altering a small area. I'm going to do a very large area to focus on the worm's location and get it angled in the right direction and kind of give it a boost out of that gravity field. And then, did you want to roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll, and this one's going to be at a very high boosted level. So go ahead and roll 4 dice for it.
Ooh, here comes the grand flux. Hope your fingers are ready in the chat.
That's
And,
So the collective power of your weaver cell working together bends this weave as you bark out the commands on pulling it together. So why don't you go ahead and narrate how you affect the siege worm?
Yeah, the siege worm, as it's coming down with its thrashing and biting at the goetics and stuff, it's going to get towards one of the circles of one of Reese's close co-workers there, and as it's coming down to chomp on it, our spell is going to cast, and it's going to hit like a gravitational stasis where it can't actually move or get any momentum on its attacks, and we're going to spin it around a few times and push it out away from us and have it already moving in the direction towards the opposite side of the battlefield when the gravity field ends and it kind of hits the ground running.
All right, and it's going to be running obviously in the direction of the demon angel conflict.
Yes.
All right, Zoggy, you are stuck in a orifice, if you will.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to, while the weavers are performing this up down turnaround sphincter spin around, whatever it's called, Zoe's gonna use the momentum of the worm turning and being tossed around to free from the muscle entrapment here.
Go ahead and take a physicality check.
Absolutely. Okay. Am I gonna gain a bonus from kind of moving with the flow of the nature of the spell?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you a +2.
7.
All right, you
Oh,
managed.
Do I get the +1 from the? Never mind. You go ahead.
Yep, 7 was enough. You managed to wriggle free from the connective tissue, and it slams shut behind you fiercely as you sense the demon's internal defenses are starting to lock down. Fortunately, you have the light from your wings to guide you further into the um, belly of the beast, if you will.
Sweet.
All right. So that was ASO, Zogi this round. The siege worm is going to move in the direction of the angels and the demons, and it's going to go ahead and move 2 range bands as it charges ferociously. And ASO, the crowd on your side, all of the weavers from your cell and Death's Door let out a triumphant cheer as it begins running in the opposite direction. At the same time, the horns and trumpets are blaring as angels continue to pour out, and there's just angels falling from the sky and demons throwing gouts of fire back and forth on the other side. And you see this massive armored 9-foot tall angel with his axe, and with every swipe of his axe, he's cutting down demons like wheat. Bestial creatures and like hellhounds and stuff like that have been coming from the demon portal. He's just slicing through them, sending them scattering to the left and the right. And for a moment, you feel as if the battle is turning in your favor.
Alrighty. Now, on the other side, there are also goetic summoning those worser creatures, right?
Yeah, they're summoning things from all the different planes and sending them across the battlefield. And they're being led by Risa.
Wait, no. The ones on the demon side are being like on the enemy side of the battlefield. They're summoning creatures too, right?
That is correct. On the enemy side, there are also summoning creatures and mostly demons from the red.
I'm gonna look to Risa in the front of her goetics and say, "Hey, remember when Zogi broke your circle? Why don't we give that a shot over there? You guys think?"
Yarr.
Risa nods with grim determination, and she shouts to a handful of geotics who start rushing across the battlefield.
And and then I'm going to turn and say, offensive weavers with me, and I'm going to lead a charge with them side by side.
All right. So mostly weavers from your cell surround you as you charge into and across the battlefield as well. And I am going to go ahead and drop the next card flip.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yikes. That's not a very good card.
And the assassin is played, and that is an adept. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another one.
That's good, though. That means it's only going to do, like, one thing, hopefully. And then the golden ship is going to show up. Or not.
Almost, right? Come on, we haven't seen the golden ship forever.
All right. And Aso, as you charge out of the pack, you hear a blood-curdling scream from behind you.
I turn to look.
And as you turn to look, you see Risa stagger with a blade extended from her chest from behind as she falls to the ground. And from the crowd, from behind your defensive battle line, a host of fallen angels takes to the sky and begins attacking your rear line.
They're backlining.
Yeah, I got ganked.
Where's the support?
All right. I mean, I was holding my sorcery for a reason. Is it my go?
It is your go.
Alrighty. I'm going to do a level 13. I'm going to dump it all to inflict 9 damage across a medium area. And
All right.
I am going to use diamond with the hardness, and I believe, infinity with the space, I want to say, to turn, seeing this and knowing that the offensive is the most important part. I'm not going to stop the offensive that we're pushing, but I am going to turn and point my diamond sortier into the sky where these fallen angels are, or you said they were flying in?
Yes. Yep.
And I'm going to airburst like diamond grenades over a medium area to deal 9 damage, hopefully.
All right, go ahead and make the roll.
And at 13, that's 3 dice, I believe.
Yes, I
Yep.
believe so.
All right, here's nothing. Going to be a 15, 15, and 14.
All right. So as explosions of diamonds fill the sky, you see dozens of these fallen angels fall from the sky as their wings are pierced by the explosions, and they're just slashed at all angles from the shrapnel of your blast. And at least a dozen of them just fall right down. And again, the moment is here for you to call to the crowd and see if you can cause them to rally. With Risa being down and on the ground, you are the only hope to keep your battle line together.
Yeah. I will, like, kind of halfway through this movement of this push, I'm like stuck in the middle. I'm going to turn to Risa's folks and say, you all know that for Risa, death is but a door. So turn and fight.
Lol.
But I would like to propose that I get a bonus for just popping like a dozen of them.
Yes, I'm bonus. And as you make your plea to the geotics not to break, from where Risa was, the leader of the fallen angels emerges, drawing her sword from the back of Risa's fallen form.
Oh,
Yikers. She looks familiar.
I've never seen her.
And she calls out a cry of her own. And as she opens her mouth, a sonic scream emerges that just mows down geotics, blasting them off of their feet and creating a tunnel through the crowd, in which a series of angels repeat, fallen angels repeat and yell in unison. And that seems to shake the battle line for the moment.
Somebody's been watching the Great Wall.
Okay. Zogi, you're up.
So in the cavity that I'm currently in, what am I seeing?
All right, so you've entered another cavity, and in this cavity, you've got another organ. And there's a pair of organs here, two of them that are hanging in the air, so to speak, suspended by a bunch of tubes and different, like, veins and connective tissue that comes in, and you can't quite make out their, like, kidney
Purpose.
bean shaped organs. A pair of them.
You said they're what?
Kidney bean shaped, but they're about the size of a Buick. What are you gonna do?
There's two of them, and Zogi's gonna pull his classic drive-by. This time I'm going to push a beam of accuracy, or I'm gonna propose to push a beam of accuracy as Zogi reaches down, grabs his divine sword, and is gonna slice both of them at the same time.
All right, go ahead and make a roll. And I am going to allow you to push that beam of accuracy.
So how am I gonna roll this? Do you want me to take the greater roll of the two, or do you want me to roll them both separately?
Roll them both separately, please.
Absolutely. So this is gonna be the Archblades roll. So it's gonna be
Is that in
+6
your right or left?
that is gonna be my right, because
Okay.
I would presume I'm right-handed, and that's what I've been using. So it's rolling right now. So we have I'm gonna assume that's a success if I needed 10.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Nicely done.
So that's my right hand, and to follow up with my left hand, which is gonna be my divine sword.
Go for it.
Not as strong, but we'll still get the
Heyo.
work done.
That'll get the job done. So as you streak past these two organs and slice into them, a dark brownish fluid comes spilling out and it's got a foul odor. And as it lands in the floor of the cavern, it just steams and smokes as if it's burning through tissue. And again, the creature shudders violently. On the outside, Aso, as you look back and see this creature, it actually stumbles and falls, as if its legs suddenly were knocked out from underneath it. And the siege worm falls to the ground and makes a tremendous thud, burying itself into the dirt as its sheer momentum brings it to a stop.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna give just a little bit of a smirk and say, "Zogi, you son of a bitch." I hope you're still out there.
All right. So for the NPC's turn, the fallen angels continue to attack the Geotic and Weaver line that you've left behind. Aso, you and your group are, short range, medium range away from that battle. So you're short range from the beast on the one side and short to medium range away from your battle line. The fallen angels are cutting into the battle line from behind. You turn in, on the other hand, the demons and the angels are having an epic bloodbath on their side of the battlefield. The portal seems to be holding as more angels come spilling out. And at this point, I'm going to have you just make a check to rally the folks behind you in the direction you want to go. So this is technically their turn, but this is to your Weaver cell that has come with you, for you to inspire them either to charge with you in one direction or the other. So go ahead and make that check. And declare which way you're going to go.
Alrighty. To the Weavers that have started crossing the battlefield with me, I'm kind of, I want myself kind of positioned between them at this point. I am going to turn to them and say, carry onward, and when you reach the other side, find Zogi. He will lead you the rest of the way. And then I am going to turn, drop my umbrella that is covered in blood and dirt to the floor, and draw both my regular rapier and my feathered rapier, don my jacket, and start hovering, getting ready for the fight. And here comes the roll. And to the people behind me, the ones that were left with the fallen angels, I'll shout out to them that this war is just beginning. Reach into your reserves, pull everything you have. We can't let them win. You're not fighting for yourself, you're fighting for Satyrine.
All right. Your Weaver cell responds with a huzzah, and they continue the charge in the direction of the angel demon battle line. And then as you turn to the remaining defensive line and let out your call, they answer with a collective cheer for Satyrine. And for the moment, you think you have it under control. They turn and begin fighting with the fallen angels again. But DeCabria makes eye contact with you, seeing you call and pick up and start hovering, and she leaps to the air and comes charging in your direction.
Alrighty, can I still use my movement for my turn with that?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to fly away, and I'm going to attempt to stay one range band away from her. I'm playing a scared little bitch role.
All right. And Zogi, you are up.
Do I continue to hear the hollow thudding of the heart?
You absolutely do.
Deeper I go.
All right. So you move into the next chamber, and inside of this chamber, there are actually two organs beating in rhythmic unison, and they are both red and swollen at this point and almost over enlarged as if they were too full of blood, um, as they've worked to compensate for the damage you've already inflicted.
Are these a pair of hearts? Is what I'm gonna assume, or both?
Yes.
Okay, so I
Yes, there are a pair of parts. And like they're over engorged from the excess blood being pumped through them, so they look like super inflated balloons.
okay. Um, and from what I know, there's a possibility of being one more.
That is correct.
I'm gonna take a minute to think. If you want to pass the turn to Aso, and then I'll come back.
All right, Aso, go for it.
I am going to make a movement check to try to evade her with twists and turns as I fly. Um, and I'm going to use a movement beam to try to stay ahead of her.
All right, go ahead and make a roll for that for movement.
Ready? What's the family on the card there? That looks like it's notions. So nothing there. +1 for the die. Hopefully I don't die. That's, that's a 2. But, I'm still moving away. I'm just not doing it very well.
All right, so you try your best to stay away from her, but she is way more experienced than you in flight um, and combat. And despite your efforts to stay away, she is able to close in on you. However, your defensive efforts, I'm going to give you an enhancement dice to your defense um, for the evasive actions that you took.
Okay.
Zogi, do you know what you're doing?
Um, can I take an intellect check?
Go for it.
Zogi wants to, or maybe a perception check. Zogi wants to kind of analyze the situation and determine whether, um, seeing that these two hearts are already enlarged and very overfilled with blood, if eliminating these next two hearts would cause the what I would assume last heart to just overload and give up, type of deal.
All right, go ahead and make the roll.
Okay. And so that's gonna be one die, and I want to propose getting an extra boost for the fact that I know about using my secret vulnerabilities, how the hit points work, and general knowledge about the creature.
Um, yes, and I'll also give you the enhancement die for it because you are testing against the creature.
Okay. So what type of bonus do you want to see
Um,
here?
I'll throw 2 onto that bonus.
All right, and I'll push an intellect for a third.
Big brain time.
Huge brain. Dang it. So that's gonna be a flux. So a 3 and a 6.
No flux because you're not actually casting magic.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
So the 3 and the 6. You are reasonably confident that given the fact that you have damaged the kidneys, the liver, and destroyed the other 2 hearts, that if the last remaining heart doesn't in itself explode, you would at least cause the creature to have a massive heart attack.
Okay. Are you gonna count that as my action, or are you gonna?
Nope, that was just an intellect check. I think that was a quick, what do I know? I don't think that's a full action.
Okay. Um. So he's gonna do a new type of attack here. Um. So he's gonna take a step back, and he's going to pull deep from his reserves and throw a demon grenade at this pair of hearts.
Oh boy. That was
So this is what?
that is the weapon that you had Bearstall make in the Celestial Bazaar, correct?
It is.
All right, go ahead and launch that bad boy.
All right. So this is a level 12 ephemera object with the demon purge enhancement, which is going to be plus 3 dice. When the demon grenade is used, it deals 9 damage to all creatures in the small area. And this, I'm kind of like throwing it between the hearts and kind of getting a chain explosion here.
All
and it's
right.
giving me plus 2 damage on demons, plus I'd assume another 2 from my patron.
Yep.
But the downfall is wait, never mind. I don't know about that.
All right. Go ahead and roll it. And then you can elaborate for us what the downfall is.
Okay. So when I'm do I add the level of the ephemera object here?
Yes, you do.
Oh geez, this is a big boy.
Welcome to ASO land.
Pop, pop, pop.
Go.
That is a big roll. All right. And what's the downside of this grenade?
So as Zogi lobs this divine grenade, it's succeeding very well. With that, I kind of want to add another thing to this. But Zogi's hand starts to light on fire, and a scar appears across his right hand. And the effect of this scar, everybody with a mile knows that I just threw this grenade at this pair of hearts, hopefully ending this creature's life.
All right. And the grenade bursts in a fiery inferno that shouldn't do damage to a demon, but does, because that's Barristole's magic ability. And this fiery inferno incinerates both of the hearts, causing them instantly to wither and set off like a chain explosion. And it actually blows out a 10-foot hole in the wall, and you can see daylight from outside as the siege worm roars in protest and flaps like a dead fish floundering, not quite dead fish, but like a fish floundering on the shore outside of water. It is actually beginning to roll onto its back, and you can hear the heartbeat quicken to almost a rapid pace as the remaining heart struggles to compensate, and the creature becomes immobile as veins burst around you and blood just starts pouring in all directions. But the grenade has opened a hole in the side of this creature.
Okay. And Zogi's sure from seeing all this that this is going to die.
Yeah, I think it's dead.
Or wait, did you say yeah, did you say it's dead?
The thing just exploded, bro.
Zogi's not done till it's done.
There's a red mist over the battlefield.
Yeah, like it is gouting and gushing blood at this point. Veins
Okay.
are bursting all over it.
Zoe's gonna fly through this new cavity that he's made in the beast with each of the swords in his hand and just point to the Demonkind and charge.
Well, first you're going to come up out of the beast. So you're just all you can get for movement right now is to come up and hover over the corpse of the siege worm. And of course, you're covered in gore and blood at this point.
Good enough to
and
be.
you're just like dripping as you hover over the corpse of this thing. All right, Aso. DeCabria begins trying to slice at you with her sword. with a series of stabs and thrusts. And I gave you a enhancement to your defensive maneuvers for this, because if you are trying to stay away from her, so go ahead and roll your defense.
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to stop my wings flapping for my dodge attempt here, and kind of slash my swords across in front of me to try to block any blows, tuck my arms, and like a torpedo fall towards the ground. So, and I'm going to push a... Do I have a movement left to push? Let me double check. I do. Last one. And so it's going to be 2 die plus 1. And all of my fingers are crossed. 8 and a 7.
Nicely done. You parry her sword slash and fall out of the way of her attack as she howls in anger.
And then I'm going to activate my feathered rapier, like as I'm hitting the ground, superhero landing style, one knee, fist on the ground with the regular rapier. And I'm going to like hover like an inch above the ground to stop myself from smashing.
Very nice. And as all of this, all right. And as all of this takes place and Zoggy's emerged and you've landed on the battlefield, you hear a roar from the opposite side of the battlefield. And as you look to the left, you see a new battle party has emerged. A single figure is walking across the battlefield with 4 bodyguards. And as he strolls across the battlefield, all you see is him whispering words and things falling into dust. And as a result of the card flip, Misunderstood Beast, you have a new ally that you do not expect working in your favor.
Oh, you had me so worried.
Whoa! That is a unique
shoot.
figure.
I haven't even met this guy yet. That's awesome. That's the first time I've ever seen him.
Zoggy used to date his daughter.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. Wow.
Whew.
I'll let Zoggy take lead.
Nope, I just accidentally dealt the Sooth card to everybody. So in typical GM style, can I have you guys throw those away?
I don't know how to.
Yeah, it looks
Go
like
ahead.
It
You got to
won't
drop
play
it on the table.
it doesn't
it
look
won't-
like one's in his inventory.
Oh, see that? That's that one. Yeah, like I can see the one in Zoggy's inventory, but I can't pull
There
the
you
one
go.
out of
I
mine.
dealt mine to you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go without the one that Lucas has got. I had the same problem the other day.
All right, not a problem. I'm just going to do a redraw here.
You can keep any of the good ones and use them.
Neither of them were
That-
good.
That's probably the golden chip.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, you can do a recall from cards in people's hands, and you should be able to pull that back.
Aha, there it goes.
This is the Watcher. I'll be here all night.
All right, the Empty Gallows.
Solomon's just watching.
Looks like he's saying time's up. And looks like that one's in Notions.
All right. So right as you guys are about to rally, as King Nine makes his way across the field, turning angels and demon alike to dust as he approaches, DeCabria sees and makes eye contact with King Nine and decides she wants none of this. And she immediately casts a spell and vanishes from the battlefield. And upon seeing this, the remaining fallen angels take flight and flee from the battlefield on their side, bringing a huzzah from the Vislae, who are still left alive from death's door. As Zogi emerges, blood covered and whatnot, hovering over the siege worm, you hear the demon line make a general call of retreat as the siege worm is dead. And the horns of the angels blare in triumph as more and more angels continue to pour out from your portal, slashing and hacking at all these demons as the demons begin to retreat back to their side. They're quickly joined by the group from your cell, ASO, as they begin hurling spells offensively at the fleeing demon horde who is trying desperately to get back to their portal. Zogi, you're up.
So Asu had kind of commanded for his as the leading commander. He separated the squad into two pieces, telling one squad meet up with Zogi, and the rest will hold the back line here. I'm gonna take that squad, and I'm gonna continue to persist into the demon, kind of rallying now at this point a mix of this Weaver cell and various angels, and kind of using Zogi's new name, the Siege Worm Murderer, against these demons. One sword in each hand.
For I am Zoggipogga.
Slayer of the siege worm. Go ahead and make an interaction check.
Okay. I have a rank of interaction, and I'm going to propose the fact that, everybody knows that I did just slay out this siege worm to gain a little bit of a boost here.
All right, go for it.
Is that going to be a +1 for that?
No, I'm going to add +2 to that roll.
All right. So it's going to be a total of +3.
Oh.
9.
Thought I was rocking back to that 10.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
Those 10s
All
have
right.
been toying.
So the Weaver cell, joined by a host of angels, led by Apollo, who you know, rally around you. And Apollo is an angel that you have a pact with, as it is.
Yep.
And she comes immediately to your side, drawing her celestial battle axe, as you lead the charge into the demon fray. And it's almost like a vanguard charge with you at the point, her to your left, and the Weavers to the right, forming out behind you in a wedge, if you will, as you dive into the host of demons. And I'm going to go ahead and have you make an attack check just against the demon horde. And I am going to give you a +6 bonus for all of your backup. And you are rolling for the attack of the entire group, not just for yourself.
Okay. So I'm rolling one big attack.
Yes, one multi-attack, kind of like when ASO is casting spells.
Okay. Am I gaining a bonus for my swords, or is this just the +6?
Nope, it's just
one roll.
+6 on the one roll because it's the entire group.
9.
All right. So you descend with utter violence and ferocity into the broken line of demons and begin cutting through them, with Apollo at your side and the Weavers supporting you with spells, granting you armor and protection. You feel almost immune as you begin slicing through these bestial forms of demons from behind, cutting them down like wheat. And you come to the center point where the secretary in giant armor is slicing through with his axe, and your two groups kind of pause as you come within 10 feet of each other, and you look around as the bulk of the demon horde has been slain and lays dead all around the battlefield. It's just this massive expanse of demon blood and fallen angels, and the secretary just kind of nods in your direction before turning back, and the angel horde begins retreating back through the portal.
Okay. I'm gonna command the van or not the vans the weavers here to kind of hold the line. Don't let them retreat. They shall live to tell the tale of the the fierce fight that we put up here. And Zogi's gonna turn with the angels and uh go through the portal or head towards the portal with them to go to the Silver Sun.
All right. Asa, what are you
Um,
doing?
Yeah, I'm going to turn to the group that was fighting the archangels. Kind of let the levitation go from the blade. I'm gonna, as I'm walking, sheath both my rapiers, pick up my jacket off the floor, dust it off, throw that on, grab my umbrella, give it a little kick on the back of my heel to knock some of the dust off, and start making my way over to where they were fighting. And call out, "We need healers to the front line." Um, and as I'm saying that, from around a corner, I see my good friend Patch, and I grab him on the shoulder and say, "I'm so happy you made it out. Can you help these friends of mine, especially this one here, the green one, Risa?"
Patch nods, looking at the chaos and the bloodshed of the battlefield, and he's like, got my work cut out for me today, and begins immediately trying to tend to the wounded and whatnot. Why
I
don't you
was
go ahead and
good.
a perception check to see the extent of the damage the demon horde caused to the Vislae?
All right, is that intellect, or what can I push for that?
Perception.
Actually, oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Duh. Um, with a perception check, can I push a sortilege?
Yes, you can.
All right. So I'm going to push a sortilege, and my explanation for that is going to be kind of seeing through this new eye that I have. Newfound perspective, I'd say, and try to really get a brandish as my mind is trying to separate the living from the dead, from the injured, and kind of give myself an aura of vision for that, like a dog's scent would be, sort of. It's going to be a 3 and a 4, nothing special.
All right. So as you look about, you'd say that nearly half of Death's Door's forces lay dead from the battle between the fallen angel horde striking and the siege worm crashing into the battle line. Nearly half the forces of Death's Door um, have lost their lives in this battle. It's a solemn scene as the healers begin to tend the wounded and try to save those who they can. Um, and as you take toll of the wounded and whatnot, you are relieved to see all of your friends safe and sound at the far behind the battle line, where your spell had pushed them to a safe distance away. The rest of the group is there and seemingly unharmed. Um, and then as you see Patch working on Risa and his worried face, you look back and know that Oxivius has a close bond with Risa, and you kind of feel that sense of sadness, knowing that this is not going to end well for that group.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to take some time to line up the bodies, anywhere that I can that there's corpses, whether it be, and I'm not, showing any favoritism towards the Weavers or the Goetics or even the Fallen Angels' bodies, and just lining them up so that they're easier to be tended to and that we can actually get a toll of what the damage was to the population. Um, and ASO needs to keep his mind as busy as possible. Otherwise, he's going to collapse from exhaustion. So he's going to do whatever he can to help the process here.
And you see at the center of the battlefield, King Nine, surrounded by his bodyguards, looks to the chaos on both sides, just gives you a silent nod, and turns to head back the way he came.
I'll return it.
All right, and Zogi, you are heading through the portal to the Silver Sun, to the city on the hill.
Yeah.
All right, and as the angels flood out and whatnot, Apollo stands next to you, and she's just gushing at your achievement, saying, "Zogi, I can't believe what you have accomplished here. Like, I knew I was sent to support you by the Queen and to really help you, but I never imagined that it would turn out like this."
Paulo, this is not about an individual achievement today. This is about creation. Today, creation has taken a step above against death and destruction. Um, it, this has evolved more. This is a fighting chance for the angels and what we stand for. Um, and with that, Zoe's gonna kind of like usher her and kind of state that we're gonna need to have a meeting with the queen about this and stances we can make against this now that we've hurt them very very badly. We've kind of taken a step into the right way. And then I'm gonna pull out the archangel sword and kind of show Apollo. I need to return this to the owner.
Follow me to the Heavenly Forge. And she flies through the portal to the Silver Sun.
I'm gonna fly with her, still having my wings active.
And that is where I'm going to end the session, guys.
Wow. My heart was running from start to finish. Great session.
Thank
That
you.
was really awesome.
You guys did really well. I was, and the card flips were great. I had a lot of fun. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That combo of the angels and the demons kind of showing up there, that was perfect timing for those card flips.
Indeed, it was. I wasn't expecting a full-blown battle like that, but hey, it worked out great.
No, I said a really good like it put like a really like beautiful taste on it. Like, ooh, it was good. That was really good.
I'm going to have both of you guys for the session wrap up go ahead and gain 2 acumen for really completing that arc. And I think that's going to close out the climax resolution on Zogi's primary arc. I think you already did the resolution, the climax, but I don't think you've done the resolution. I'm going to have that finish the resolution.
Okay. What is the resolution? Does that give any type of reward, or is that just saying, "Hey, good job, you finished"?
I believe it does give a reward if you look in the key.
Okay, let's check that out.
I'd also like to propose another joint reward here. When Aso and Zogi and Axivius, Ixlina, the original gang, well, the semi-original gang, started on this path, we made a desideratum that we wanted to join the different factions and
Yep.
unite them and kind of do away with this, not racism, but this classism, I guess, against weavers and goetics and things like that. And I'd say that we made a step towards that. We don't have a specific arc for it. I'm not sure where that would fall under, but just wanted to point out the bonuses that we got from that tonight and working towards that, and that we should continue doing that.
I think you're right. I'd like to give. I think it'd be fitting for both Zogi and Aso to pick up a level 2 connection with a faction of their choice within Satyrine that participated in this battle.
Okay.
I'm going
I think
to choose
that
the
would be a good
goetics.
one.
So the final step, the resolution here, is you gain 1 acumen reward. You reflect on what you would have learned, and the consequences of your actions might be.
There you go. That's definitely complete at this point, I think. And as you've already declared your next intent and where to move forward, you're going to return the Archangel's Blade to the Heavenly Forge. Yeah, I think that's a clean wrap up on that story arc. Anything else, guys?
Nope. I think Zogi has finally made a very good stance with the Angels here after today's battle. Something that turned out to be a big mistake. Really kind of worked out for Zogi, and his trip on the Silver Sun for the next few days until Saturday is going to be very eventful, I assume.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if there's nothing else, I think we can call it a wrap.
Sounds good to me.
That was really awesome, guys. Great job to all three of you guys. That was extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Ox, it's all you on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can follow this. No problem. This will be awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we'll
Well, that
be
was a
back at it.
climax, so now we have to, Saturday should be, sleeping in and breakfast.
Yeah, start something new. Smoking a few cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, Fen will be there. We can do some raking and some driveway cleaning, and we can just spend the night cleaning up the mess.
Only if she had her hat to pull all these objects out. Am I right?
Ooh.
That kind of hurt.
Hey, I don't know if this was intended, but we did have a new follower this session, Tobias Oberon.
Weird. Well, thank you for the
I'm not sure.
follow.
I'm not sure if that's a bot or not, but thanks.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up there, Ox?
No, I think, I guess I got some thinking to do and some replanning to do to get everybody ready. Of course, unfortunately, minus an ASO or Lucas, but I'm sure both of them are in desperate need of some rest and relaxation. So I think the group will fare all right without them.
Yeah, but you guys will sorely be missed.
Well, we will miss you too. But I'll be back next Saturday. And I think I'm going to be bringing ASO to the table for the next group session.
Sounds like a deal.
All right. Awesome job again. And yes, Fen, there was a quick joke about your hat that is not there anymore. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching, everybody. And once again, guys, that was an extremely awesome and very, very entertaining session. So good job again for all three of you guys.
Have a good week, guys. See you Saturday. Oh,
All
fish.
right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.